what a lot of people don't realize is that like 3D 3D is like 3D is like huge, and entertainment and stuff is like this, and like there's this of like the more sleepy stuff, but it's really stable and there's a ton of work in it. And when you kind of fall into that, you're like, it's just what am I doing? And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, this is kind of cool. And then you're like, wow, I'm kind of lucky because I get to just burn money doing this stuff, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
So, it's great. So I mean, it's a trade-off, but it's another one. It's cool.
You're helping people understand important concepts too. Just cool.
Kind of brings me back to those, if you've seen them, videos of X scientist or person explains Y subject to somebody in 5 different levels of complexity. It's like, I would love to be able to take a subject, a topic, and do that just visually. Because I feel like I'm definitely a visual learner. So grabbing something like information from the Goddard Center or JPL, or even like what I'm doing for work now in computer science, and really grasping the subject myself first, and then being able to break it down in a visual and like albeit sexy way, that makes people want to watch it and then digest it and remember. Oh, I remember that animation. Have you seen that animation? That's the goal, I think, right now, to be able to do that.
It's like that YouTube channel. Is it Kurz's got? Probably butchering the pronunciation.
I know you're talking about.
They're this really cool channel that they do this like very particular cartoon 2D animated style, but for like really interesting, thought-provoking topics. Beautiful work that they do. But yeah, I'm with you with that, with the visual learning. I think it's definitely easier to kind of see things and experience it that way.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, most of the people are visual learners. You have visual, audio, or auditory, and then kinesthetic learners. And the visual is definitely the one that crosses most of it. Most people are visual learners, so that stuff really, really helps. It's
especially now,
important work.
When you're kind of reduced to something the size of this, and you're just scrolling, and the attention span obviously is like very short. But being able to carry something through without necessarily having to have, like, the audio is great, obviously. But if somebody's on a bus and they're muted, or they have headphones in but they can't hear, but they can at least see it, and obviously if you add subtitles, even better, but they can see it and it sticks and it's something that makes sense. It's kind of like the thing that you knew. What was that? We said it in a previous podcast. Like, you knew something that you didn't realize that you already knew. Something like that. Where it just kind of
you
clicks.
Didn't know what you didn't know.
Where you didn't. I'm kind of like blabbing on like that kid from the video who's like, "Have you ever had a dream?
Had a dream
where you
that
you think that you." Yep.
It's tricky. Like, I'm sure you guys run into this too with your YouTube videos. Like, what is like the sweet spot for content versus length versus just having it so that people will not just click off your video after 2 minutes and still manage to get all the content compressed in there and hold people's attentions for that. It's tough.
We need CG Matter on here. He's got it figured out.
Right. Or Ian Huber with his like minute tutorials and stuff. It's like,
yep. I haven't admittedly put out much stuff yet, but I was just having a conversation about this because I think we said in the Discord that it's now getting pushed to 8 minutes for a YouTube video before you can monetize, and so we're probably going to start to see longer form videos where the actual meat and potatoes or the source of the content is really just a 30-second clip. But I'm fortunate to be in a position where I don't necessarily need to rely on YouTube monetization to carry myself through. So I want to be the anti 8 minute and just take maybe like a 30-second chunk of how do you stream from your PlayStation 4 to Twitch, right? I've seen like 6-7 minute videos on that, but it's really just something that takes 30 seconds to explain. So how do you get those 30 seconds to be something like the lazy tutorials or CG Matters, like crazy fast talk, really intense educational stuff?
I was trying to reset a PS4 controller the other day. How to reset, and obviously Google goes off and finds an appropriate video for you. 15 minutes. It's not going to take 15 minutes. And I found
a life story before they get into it. It's like,
it was like 90 seconds. Thank you very much. That's all I wanted to do.
Exactly. Just in
hey
and out.
Hey guys, what's up? It's PS4 all day gamer here, and you know, PS4s are awesome, but sometimes they break down. And here's a video about how to reset.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
And
first,
then
today's sponsor is
exactly.
Yeah.
It was like I was at work and I the Keurig machine. I'm kind of a coffee snob, but like, man, if there's coffee anywhere, I'm gonna drink it. And so the coffee machine was broken, and I was like, how do I fix this? And it was a Keurig coffee machine, which is one of those things you get those little like wasteful K cups, you put it in, and you're like. So anyway, it was broken. And I'm like, I just want to learn how to fix it. And like, I'm going through these videos, and like everyone that says they know how to fix it, I had to wait like 5 minutes into the video to learn that you just put your finger here, you do this and you do that, and then it's fixed. I'm like, well, I was so tempted to just I would record myself doing it and throw that up on my YouTube channel and says, this has nothing to do with Blender, but if you have a Keurig and it's not working, just do this. And have it be like a 10-second video.
Yep.
Like, there, it's fixed. You know?
Yep. That was exactly the same sentiment. I was just so annoyed by the fact that all the videos were like, yes, 6 to 10 minute videos on how to do something that really the explanation was just 30 seconds. And like to Michael's point, on Google now at least, I've noticed that they've started to chunk out the specific section that answers your question. I'm like, thank you.
Oh.
It's great. So it'll just say like it's a 7-minute video, but it's highlighted the 30 seconds that you need in order to just go on with your day. I'm all about that.
On the
That's
flip
why I
side
think
to this short video stuff, I've started doing multiple hour live streams and uploading them just raw to YouTube, and I've got such a good response from that, and like such good sort of surprisingly good audience retention. Like as a percentage, it's way higher than my other videos, which maybe is just more of a statement of the other videos, but it's, I think, people who want 30 seconds, there's also people who want an hour and a half of just watching you talk rubbish.
I was going to pick your brains about that, and Josh, but he's not here this evening because Josh recently released, I think his was about 2 hours long, hard surface modeling. Maybe
he did,
longer, I'm not sure.
It was 4 hours 20.
4 hours, yeah.
And I was like, oh,
4
wow.
hours 20. He's chilling.
I wouldn't have done something like that on YouTube because I've always perceived it as a big no-no. And I'm just like, well, actually, the shaders thing that I was mucking about with the other day, and just going through making mistakes that I would usually try and go, oh, no, let's neaten that up, writing down notes of the exact steps so it looks nice in a shorter format. I was just thinking, actually, there would be a lot of educational content just in the fact that we're going to try this now. Just, if nothing else, so the student or the watcher just knows that this isn't something you just go click, 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 and it works.
Right.
You spend 30 minutes tweaking these values to get to that. I think
that's the appeal of it. Yeah, for like a beginner, it's less intimidating. If you see this like crazy tutorial that's just like, wow, that person made this amazing masterpiece in seconds. You appreciate it so much more when you see the struggle and you realize that everyone's human and this just takes time. You
mentioned Ian Hubert a moment ago. He in one of his the Blender conference talks that he had, he was saying he gets people asking him, how did you make that in so quick? And he went, no, that took 3 weeks. You know, these things you don't just produce.
Yeah.
I had a student, interestingly, we were discussing about, I think it was last weekend, and we were just talking through, he does a lot of hard surface modeling. He loves his sci-fi stuff, and he's trying to sort out all the greebles on the Starship. I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but anyway, Star Destroyer, that's the one. And he was saying, oh, it just takes me ages to do. I said, how long have you worked on this one? He said, I've worked on it for about maybe a day or so. I'm like, dude.
Ages.
Yeah, it's really got to be, if you're going to produce, and he wants to do all the little greebles within the greebles within the.
It's got to get into shaders.
Oh
start with the smallest shit.
Buckle up.
Because I did live stream last night. Normally do it every Sunday night. And looking back on it, I only did like 3 things in the span of an hour 20. I mean, I was talking to everyone else, but everything just takes time.
Yep. Something that I really enjoyed about watching the lazy tutorials is actually going in the description and clicking through to the long.
Oh yeah, there's the long link. Yeah.
Because now that I understand more about the process, it's not so much, wow, this is really cool how he put all this together in 1 minute, and I kind of understand what's going on. But now you can dive right in. So I think there's definitely room for both. And you guys know that I love that GIF of the little girl going, "Why not both?" Yeah, it's true. It's like, give us both. I think that that's a sweet spot, because then if you're somebody who just wants to get in and out real quick, you can just watch the lazy tutorial, or if you want to get in depth, watch the longer form.
Yeah, and
it's kind
cool
of a win-win.
It is a win-win. It's cool if you can do that. Like I can't do that. I don't have the time to do that. Like I wish I did sometimes. Like if YouTube could support me and I grew a business out of this, that'd be great. And then I could just do, I would do it all day long. But it's tough because you have to record yourself doing the whole thing, talking through it, and then you have to go and take that same one that you edit and then edit that down into like a minute and put it on YouTube and see if you get flamed or you get praise. So it's I skated a little too close to Ian when I tried it because I saw the genius of it, and I realized like I could do like 10 videos a day doing it that style. And until I started doing it, and then I started getting more into it, and I realized, wow, this is gonna take a little bit longer than 10 a day. I could probably bang out one of these a day, but it was I got like it was like right after Ian released his, and I was like, that's an awesome style. Let me try that, and I just got panned. And I was like, I won't do that. Then I like backed it out to like 3, 4, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 10 minutes, and I backed out. But it's a great way to make videos. I mean, it really is for a certain segment. Beginners probably aren't. They get excited watching it, but like intermediate, it's really for intermediate and expert users. That's where if you're a beginner, you're gonna have to probably go to that extended version. So that I think he started putting it up and doing that. I mean, his stuff is awesome, and he's a really good instructor. Man. His stuff is funny. His attitude is great. Like, he just puts out really good stuff. But yeah, it's that 1 minute kind of like threw everything into disarray, and like so many people were trying to jump on that same style at the same time, and people getting so pissed off because like we're never gonna have another like long video format. We're never gonna learn anything, and then like it died out, and then now we have both.